Hi, I'm Brent Lancaster with Bob Brooks School, and I've gotten a lot of questions from agents around Baton Rouge, particularly as it relates to where we stand now in our flooding recovery. And what I think we see now is certainly we've had a series of homes that have been gutted and are for sale at a discount. But certainly we're now starting to see what I believe are the beginnings of homes that are being completely rebuilt and subsequently put on the market, which poses a whole lot of different questions in different scenarios. And it doesn't matter whether we're working for a buyer or a seller. I think we're going to be asked some questions that we may or may not know the answer to. So on February 7th, we're going to talk a lot about those and answer some of the questions. So I brought in some friends and some industry experts to hopefully give us some insight as it relates to insuring a homeowner's insurance policy on a previously flooded home. I think David will bring in some really good insight about the questions that he's going to ask, and subsequently you may need to ask and preface with your buyers as it relates to providing homeowners insurance, as it relates to your sellers and the checks that were written to them and what it was spent on and different things like that. I think that's going to pose some really interesting questions. Lori from Cypress Title is going to come in and she's going to start discussing maybe some escrow issues that may be there, disclosure issues, and different things of that nature. So from a buyer side and from a selling side, I think she can provide a lot of title problems or maybe things that could delay or perhaps even prevent that property from closing. Kevin's going to come in, and certainly the inspection is going to be important more so now than ever, particularly as it relates to mold and mold issues. If you're a seller and you want to put a buyer at ease in saying the property's been remediated for mold, or if you're a buyer looking to purchase a property, you certainly want that property to be free from mold. What does that mean? What does mold remediation mean? We've heard so much about these certificates and what they may or may not do, and Kevin can come in and bring us up to date a little bit on what's happening there. We look at it from the lending side, and Toby and Ryan are going to bring us up to date a little bit on can you lend? Is a mortgage company going to lend money on a previously flooded home? And are they going to lend money on a home where they're not so sure that there may or may not be mold related to there? But we're going to talk about some products and some different things that they can help, and they're going to bring some good insight. And then finally, Matt's going to come in and talk to us about the valuation aspect of it. All right, the all-important of what is this property going to be worth? And from an appraisal standpoint, you may have a ready, willing, and able buyer, a ready, willing, and able seller, and perhaps even a lender. But if the value doesn't come in, we know that we're going to have some problems. So Matt's going to go ahead and tell us what some appraisers are going through in terms of how they can define value in a market where really values might be a little bit more erratic. So again, I'd invite you to come by February 7th at the Baton Rouge board. There's two bonuses. Number one, you get 4 hours of CE, and number two, you get lunch at 11:30. So lunch is going to be served at 11:30. Course is going to be 12 to 4. Come to the Baton Rouge board, sign up today, bring your questions, and I look forward to seeing you there.